Hey guys, all right, so let's go. We are on problem number 8. I've got my paper ready, my number 8 ready to go. Let's read the problem. Select 2 points that lie on the same line through 0, 0. Okay, so this is a proportional relationship. Then select an equation that describes that relationships between x and y. All right. Now, some of you are like, holy cow, how do I even know if these are on the same line? I don't even have a graph. I get it. I know what you're saying. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a good old x and y chart. Okay, we're going to take these coordinates here, because these are coordinates. We're going to put them onto the graph. Okay, so I have 3/4 and 1/2. I have 1 and 2/3. I have 5/3 and 5/2. Okay, lots of fractions, fun. What we need to do is we need to go through and we need to check for a constant of proportionality. They told us that 2 of these points are going to be on the same line. That means that 2 of them will have the same constant, and 1 will not. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to be using our good old formula, y divided by x, and we're going to need to divide a lot of fractions. Remember, keep, change, flip. Go. Okay, so here I showed my work for each of the 3. I keep, change, flipped, that's why that one's upside down, and I got these answers. Oh no, none of them are the same. I thought 2 were supposed to be the same. Thank you to somebody who said reduce your fraction. This one is 6/4. If I reduce it by dividing by 2 on the top and dividing by 2 on the bottom, I do get 3/2. Look, 2 of them are the same. Okay, so that was the first one and the second one. The third one, nope, was not the same. So we would need to choose on our answer key here, A and B. And then we need to pick the equation. Now, if you remember, our equation has a specific formula as well. It is that y is going to equal the constant times x. So what we're looking for is our constant that we just found, this 3/2, to go right there, where the constant goes. Let's see which one that is. Aha, there it is. 3/2 right there. Not 2/3, 3/2. So we would also need to choose E. Ooh, that was a lot of steps for one problem, but it's not that bad when you break it up into pieces. Okay? Now, at this point, I am going to have you guys get out your highlighters because when you're on the test, they are going to assume that you have these 2 formulas memorized. Okay, so highlighting them is going to tell you that we need to spend some time tonight going over your notes and memorizing those 2 formulas. All right, let's keep going. So, number 9 is going to be exactly like number 8. Hope you were paying attention because you get to do it on your own. Go. Okay, so if you divide y divided by x, you got 0, 1/3, 4/12, which reduces to 1/3. Aha! These 2 are the same. So this one, nope, not on the line. These 2 are. So I would choose B and C as my choices. Then I would need to look for the equation that has a constant of 1/3. Well, that's easy. That was choice D. See it right there? Excellent, doing great. Let's move on. Number 10, do it again. Go. Okay, so here's my chart. Your constant should have been 5, 10, and then 5, because 10 divided by 2 is 5. So our 2 points on the same line are the first one, which was A, and the third one, which was C, not B. Okay, now we need to choose the equation that has 5 as the constant. Well, there it is. It's F. So my answers would be A, C, and F. Ta-da! Doing great. Okay, so now we're going to switch gears and look at number 11. Got my notebook ready to go. A piece of machinery produces 76 units in 4 minutes. Assuming the same rate of production, which expression gives the number of units produced in 3 minutes? Okay, so what we're doing here is we're trying to pick what you would do to find the answer. They don't actually want the answer. Okay, this is one of those cases where since they're trying to have you show your work right here, we don't really need to write it down on our paper. We just need to choose the right one. Okay, so as we can see, since we're talking about units in 3 minutes, I can immediately cross off these two because I'm not multiplying it by 4. It's in 3 minutes, so 3. So I'm looking down here. So the real question is which ratio? Is it 76 units in 4 minutes or 4 minutes per 76 units? Which one? Oh, I don't know. How do I even pick? Okay, this is where we are going to look at how it's written. They told us it was 76 units in 4 minutes. Typically, we write that top to bottom, first, second. So we're going to go ahead and choose C. And on your paper, I would just write C, no work. Done. Moving on. Number 12. See, ready for the next one right here on number 12? It says Juan has committed 4 errors in 27 games. If this trend continues, how many errors will Juan commit in 162 games? Okay, this looks like a constant rate. We could be setting up a proportion. Which proportion would we set up? Ooh, okay, so again, they're not asking you for the answer. They just want you to show what you would do to get the answer. So let's go through each of these and see what we're doing. What I'm checking for is to make sure that the numerator has the same thing as the denominator, meaning errors should both be on the numerator or the denominator together. Okay, so if I look at letter A, I see 4, 27. Those aren't both errors. That looks all sorts of messed up. Okay, we've got number of games compared to, that one looks weird. We've got number of games compared to number of games. Ooh, so far so good. Then we've got, I don't know how many errors related to 4 errors. Ah, good. This one's the one we would want to choose because they have set it up properly. They haven't just mixed the numbers around in a weird order, but they've got errors to errors and games to games, all nice and neat. So our choice here should be C, and again, there's no work showing for this problem, so that's all I would write down on my paper. You're doing great. Now, you are going to do 13 all by yourself. Go! All right, now this is weirding me out, but 13 is also C. Now, the reason I chose that is because they had total people over total people, and then the bottom was people who drink water to people who drink water. Okay, they matched up nice and neat. This one is set up correctly. So 13 is C, and no work is necessary. Good job. Let's go to number 14. Number 14, ready to go. Select two quantities whose corresponding values are in proportion to each other. Woo, this one's fun because we're looking and we're trying to see which ones are proportional. And that can be a little bit tricky to do. So, some strategies. We're going to want to see if I had quantity A, I've got 12, 8, and 6. Basically, what I'm doing is finding the constant between this one and this one. This one and this one, this one and this one, and all sorts of different combinations. So let's make a T-chart with A and B next to it. Okay, so I'm going to go through here and I'm going to list all the values for A, which are 12, 8, and 6, and everything for B, which is 8, 6, and 4. Then I'm going to grab my calculator and I'm going to start dividing. I'm going to see if these are proportional, yes or no. So, 8 divided by 12 is 0.6 repeating. 6 divided by 8 is 0.75. All right, so this is no. Those two are not proportional to each other. Now, this might seem a little tedious, but we're going to need to check the other ones. Okay, so we're going to need to check A and C. We're going to need to check A and D, and every other combination that we can do. Yes, it's tedious, but it will be worth our while. So go ahead and do those two and check back in with me. Go. Okay, I have checked A and B, A and C, A and D. None of them are proportional. Okay, so A is not an option. Let's go ahead and check B. So what we're going to do next is we're going to check if B and C are proportional. And B and D, are they proportional? Go. Okay, so I checked B and C together, and they are not proportional. I checked B and D together. They are not proportional. So we're going to move on to C. Now at this point, I am pretty sure that C and D are proportional, but I'd better double check just to make sure I didn't make any errors. Let's do this. Aha! And lo and behold, it was C and D. That was our final answer. So as you can see, I had to check if A was proportional to anything, if B was proportional to anything, and then if C was proportional to anything. There was a lot of double checking going on, and that's okay. You can do this. This is what I meant, though, by take your time, breathe, and do a good job. Let's look at number 15. Okay, looking at number 15, immediately we can see that we're going to be doing the same thing that we did in number 14. Except there's some fractions. And some of you are like, no, I hate fractions. Well, that's okay. Let's go ahead and review the I hate fractions backup plan. Remember that this fraction is just a little division problem? 1 divided by 10. So couldn't you, instead of using fractions, just use this decimal? Why, yes, you could. If I didn't want to use 1/5, that would just be 1 divided by 5, which is 0.2. Ah, you see what I'm doing? Because I don't want to work with these fractions, I'm going to convert them into decimals so that I can get the right answers and everything goes into my calculator nicely. 1 over 25 is 0.04, and 2/5 is 0.4. Oh, thank heavens. Now I don't have to be using those fractions. All right, your assignment is to do number 15 by yourself and get your answer checked by your teacher. Have a great day.